If you need any Ultimate Team coins, head over to footcoinking.com. There's a link in the description, and if you use my discount code CHES, CHES, as you can see on screen, you'll get yourself an extra 5% off. Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again with another episode of the Dortmund Career Mode here on Xbox One. We're into episode number 11, and today we have quite possibly the two biggest games of our Career Mode to date. We're 11 episodes in, and this is first versus second. FC Schalke away from home at the Veltins Arena. Now, not only is it first versus second, but Schalke are also Borussia Dortmund's local rivals. I wasn't aware of this until I did the Dortmund career mode on FIFA 13 and learnt through the in-game commentary, but Dortmund Schalke is a local rivalry, and to boot, it's now first versus second. First hosting second, and not only are Schalke top of the table, they're also undefeated in their 11 games so far. We got to a great start though. Unfortunately for them, the shot from Piszczek was parried straight to Adrian Ramos' feet. He rescued us against Real Sociedad in yesterday's episode, and he's got us off to a great start here against Schalke. Now, like I was saying, not only are they undefeated top of the table, they won their opening game, drew their second, and since have won 9 games straight. So they are quite possibly the most informed team you could ever wish to come up against. But we found ourselves 1-0 up early on, like you just saw, and we came close to a second there through Nevan Subotic. Now, I actually had to field quite a weakened side because, of course, if you remember in yesterday's episode, we had 2 big games as well, against Real Sociedad in the Champions League and against Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga, who at the time were third. So we've got huge games at the minute, really, really big games. Every single one is effectively like a cup final right now because we cannot afford to lose pace in any competition. But speaking of pace, how fast does Raheem Sterling want to be as he races away and gives us a 2-0 lead in the 20th minute? He was just absolutely rapid, and he's been a fantastic bargain signing for us. £4 million we paid for young Raheem Sterling, and he's been absolutely superb. And he was involved in this move as well, leading it up to Ramos, who played the ball round the corner to Volland, who, I'll be honest, hasn't really impressed me so far, Kevin Volland, and was a bit unfortunate, or maybe even disappointing, with that effort that was drilled wide of that far post. I needed a third goal, I felt, although not only were we fielding a weak side due to the fixture congestion, they too were playing a weakened side and not having their main players in the team that you might expect to see. No Kevin Prince Boateng, no Julian Draxler, and no Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, until, of course, as you can see in the top left, they brought Kevin Prince on around about the hour mark, and he was going to be involved for the rest of the game, and quite significantly so. But a counter-attack of absolute love here is going to end up with Kevin Grosskreutz on the ball. He's got the entire box to himself. I even settled myself for this shot to make sure I could get it on target and get right amount of power behind it. But Hildebrand, the goalkeeper, makes a very, very good save. And then 15 minutes from time, they make the change that I was most fearing. They bring on Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, who of course is a very predatory striker and has proved in the World Cup in real life in recent times he can make an impact from the bench. And he has the ball here, almost teasing me by stopping dead still with the ball at his feet, finds Abassi, who turns well in the box, and a great save from Bernd Leno is the only reason that they aren't able to get themselves back in the game. And then they brought on the third player that we mentioned earlier on, Abassi himself going off, and Julian Draxler finding his way onto the field. So they now have Draxler, Kevin Prince and Klaas-Jan Huntelaar all on the pitch at the same time, and as such they were going to be a lot stronger offensively than they were previously. As you can see straight away from the throw-in, as Julian Draxler's brought on, Kevin Prince plays the ball over the top, Klaas-Jan Huntelaar has the shot, fortunate rebound, I guess similar to our first goal, and he found himself in the on the score sheet, and the ball ended up in the back of the net, but time ran out for them, which it doesn't make sense. If you have those 3 strong players that clearly make a difference, why would you not start them? Maybe they're struggling with first team fitness as we were. Maybe their manager underestimated us. I don't know, but we were able to come out with a victory. And our next game is FC Bayern Munich at home, and I had a big decision to make. We just played top of the table and won. Could we afford to play a weakened side against Bayern Munich after the international break and then go into the game against Man United with our strongest side? Because, of course, we need wins in the Champions League as well if we want to progress out of the group stage, because we've been distinctly average in that competition so far. We still do stand a good chance of going through, but I decided to go with the stronger side against Bayern Munich. It's Bayern Munich at home. The fans would hate me if I fielded a weak side at home against their biggest domestic rivals. So I had to go with a very, very strong side. As you can see, they sit fourth now. They have improved. They were a very, very slow starters in the league and found themselves down in eighth at one point. But Frank Ribery is on the left-hand side for them, of course, as you might expect. He and Alaba link up here, finding Bastian Schweinsteiger. Great feat to get inside the man. Finds Javier Martinez round the corner, but it's a good block from Mats Hummels. And they've got Luis Suarez up top, and he was involved there. Unfortunately for them, the ball comes back off the bar, and we are just about able to scramble it clear. But they bought Luis Suarez, as we saw in the opening transfer window, for £40 million, and he was most definitely a very, very tricky striker to play against. As you can see here, gets himself free in the box, has a nice shot on the turn. Unfortunate for him and unlucky that it goes wide of the post, but I kind of breathed a sigh of relief there. And then something happened that changed the dimensions of the game. You see Javi Martinez went up for a header there. He's actually going to have to get subbed off with a head injury, and the substitution the manager makes, I guess it's Pep Guardiola making the change, but the substitution that Pep Guardiola chooses to make the change is rather peculiar, and you'll be able to see it pop up in the top left-hand side of your screen any second when it switches from saying Javi Martinez is injured to tell you that he's brought Arjen Robben on in a CDM role. Really, really confusing. They were playing Rafinha at right back and Alaba at left back, so Philipp Lahm was playing in a holding role alongside Javi Martinez. Martinez goes off and Robben comes in at CDM, and that really opened them up defensively. I hadn't been able to break them down with Javi Martinez there alongside Philipp Lahm, but as you can see, we cut them apart just 5 minutes before half-time and were able to find ourselves a chance, and not only a chance, a goal as well. And I was delighted actually to go 1-0 up because they'd been all over me in the opening parts of the game, but we were able to stifle their attack for the rest of the half. Fortunately, we were able to, I just kind of tracked the run with Luis Suarez, didn't let Müller square the ball towards him. Fortunately, I had to rely on Weidenfeller, and he came up chumps with a good save, and then another good save from Robben's wonderful technique actually on the volley, but unfortunately for him, it was straight at the goalkeeper. And then into the second half we headed, trying to just maintain possession more so than anything else, because whenever they had the ball, they were very, very threatening as well. But Mkhitaryan's going to find the ball around the corner to Sami Khedira here. Great strike with his weaker left foot, and it's only a really, really fantastic diving acrobatic save from Manuel Neuer, quite possibly the best goalkeeper in the world right now, that keeps us out and stops us from taking a 2-0 lead. Now, it was hard enough playing in the snow, full stop, let alone playing in the snow against an extremely strong Bayern Munich side. But after Robben came on at CDM, we were quite well matched in all areas of the pitch, which is encouraging, I guess, when you consider that we are now, of course, going to be doing more than one season here, and if we're to create some sort of legacy here at Borussia Dortmund, we need a strong team that's going to compete with the very best. And we're showing in this one that we can compete with the very best or this episode, we're showing that we can compete with the very, very best domestically. We just need to prove now in tomorrow's episode that we can do exactly that in Europe as well. If we can get a win against Manchester United tomorrow, then that will absolutely be everything that we need to prove to me that this team and this squad of players are good enough this season, and with some perhaps additions either in January or in next summer, that we can actually go for a little bit of dominance, whether it be domestically and in Europe, or at least one of the two. But Royce has the shot blocked. Another fantastic save by Manuel Neuer. Reaction save down to his right hand side to stop us from taking a 2-0 lead, but it wasn't enough to stop us from winning the game. We grind out a 1-0 victory at home against FC Bayern Munich. We win away against top of the table and then beat Bayern Munich. Fantastic 2 results for us in this episode. I'm going to end it with a squad report, because I know you guys like to keep up to date with everything that's going on with the club. Weirdly, it kind of darkened out the names, which is quite frustrating, but they're not really too important. You're more interested in the stats on the right hand side than you are just seeing which player's name it is, although as you can see, when it's highlighted, it actually shows the player that we're looking at. But if you want to pause it at any point to have a closer look at any player's stats, then of course feel free to do so. I'm quite disappointed that Marco Reus hasn't progressed overall yet. He is improving on an individual stat by stat basis, but still waiting for him to go up a rating. But a lot of players have gone up, and I'm quite pleased with that. We're at mid-November now, heading towards the end of November. Of course, there is a winter break in the Bundesliga, so we've only got one game in the month of July altogether. a month of July, in the month of January altogether, but December is ram-packed with fixtures, so we definitely need the squad to be at their best for the foreseeable future, and fingers crossed they will be. But that's going to bring this episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please do feel free to leave the video a like if you enjoyed. That'd be superb. If you missed yesterday's episode, there's an annotation to it in the bottom left-hand side of your picture. There will be a Suarez Road to Redemption episode tonight as well, so subscribe if you haven't already to make sure you don't miss out on that. Links in the top right and in the description, and of course check the channel page for anything you may have missed, whether it be this series, the Luis Suarez series, or of course the My Player series, in which last night we had the Euro 2016 knockout round. So if you missed that, definitely check that out, because there were a lot of twists in just one episode in the My Player series last night, and if you enjoy that series, you'll definitely enjoy yesterday's episode. But we'll have a quick look at the league table before we finish, and you can see that not only do we need points in the in the Champions League, more so than perhaps we do in the Bundesliga, but we are now top of the table, although of course, as you can see, Schalke do have a game in hand, but for now we are the best of the rest, and that will do us very, very nicely indeed. But that's going to bring this one to a close, guys. Like I say, feel free to subscribe, leave the video a like, let me know in the comment section how you think we're doing so far, and I will see you next time.